Texas Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick still facing backlash after blaming a surge in COVID-19 cases on Democrats and unvaccinated black Texans.
Here's his comment from Fox News last night.
The COVID is spreading, particularly most of the numbers are with the unvaccinated, and the Democrats like to blame Republicans on that. Well, the biggest group in most states are African Americans who have not been vaccinated. The last time I checked, over 90% of them vote for Democrats in their major cities and major counties. So it's up to the Democrats to get, just as it's up to Republicans, to try to get as many people vaccinated. But we respect the fact that if people don't want the vaccination, we're not going to force it on them. That's their individual right.
On Twitter today, the lieutenant governor doubled down on what he said last night.
He wrote in part, quote, federal and state data clearly indicate that black vaccination rates are significantly lower than white or Hispanic rates. Now, Democrats continue to play politics with people's lives, he goes on to say, pandering to rather than serving certain constituencies. Republican leadership will continue to encourage vaccination without mandates in all populations. End quote. Now, that was from the lieutenant governor today. So we wanted to look at the data and the facts as it pertains to this instance.
That's right. And the lieutenant governor's comments suggesting that black people are driving this surge don't match reality. 10 states don't report the rates of people getting vaccines, but the 40 others do. And based on that data, the vaccination rate among black people is 40%, while it's 50% among white people. But black people only make up 12% of the American population. So for every one unvaccinated black person in America, there are about 4 unvaccinated white people. So despite what the lieutenant governor says, black people do not make up the largest group of unvaccinated Americans.
Now, the same is true in Texas. We cross-referenced to 2020 census data and data from the Department of State Health Services, and we found that of the roughly 3.4 million black people in Texas, 2.4 million are unvaccinated. But of the 11.5 million white people in Texas, 6.8 million are unvaccinated. Now, keep in mind, not everyone is eligible currently to be vaccinated. But based on this data, roughly for every one black Texan who isn't vaccinated, there are 3 white unvaccinated Texans. So again, black people are not the biggest group here.